Bushcraft 101, page 170. Medicinal value. And red pines are the best for other things such as fire starting materials and construction tasks. All pines have edible seeds, although harvesting the nuts of most eastern species may be more trouble than it's worth. In the spring, young male cones, which means male cones are smaller and usually lower in the tree, they are usually coated in a dusty pollen and will never produce seeds. Can also be eaten either raw or cooked. And the inner bark of pine is also palatable when separated into strips and fried crisp. Medicinal values. White pine needles can be made into an infusion very high in vitamin C that makes a good immune system boosting drink. To accomplish this, collect a handful of needles, cut them in thirds, and place them into 8 ounces of boiled water. Place a lid on the container and let them steep away from the fire for 15 minutes. Strain and drink 3 times per day in winter or when food sources are scarce. First aid. Pine sap is a great resource for first aid as well as being an adhesive. In its raw form, it can be used like a quick new skin plaster that will help cover a wound and is antiseptic. Pine sap can be found anywhere the tree has sustained injury. If it is needed and you can't find it, a purposeful cut to the tree with an axe will usually reveal a small amount fairly quickly. If you anticipate needing it over the long term, create areas along your route for future collection using this same method. Cut the outer bark from small branches into a strip to use as a makeshift plaster that is highly antiseptic and sticky on the inside as a result of the sap. Firewood. Fat wood is the resinous area of the pine tree that sap collects in naturally. See chapter 7. Any area of the tree where a branch grows from the trunk will contain some fat wood. If the pine is dead standing, the sap will run to the base of the trunk and root areas. This fat wood can be identified by its thick appearance and feel when cutting, and will have a distinct turpentine smell. This wood is excellent fire starting material and highly flammable, both in fine shavings and in the form of feather sticks. White pine also makes a decent kit for primitive fire making, such as a bow drill set. But care must be taken to stay away from heavy resin-laden areas of dead wood for this task. Adhesives. Pine pitch is made from a mixture of pine sap, charcoal from the fire, and some type of binder to give some flexibility, such as cattail head fibers or ground and powdered rabbit droppings. This makes a great adhesive for anything from patching containers to hafting an arrowhead or blade. The steps for making this mixture are as follows. Number 1, in a metal container, mix in the pine sap, charcoal, and binder material in equal parts. Number 2, slowly heat and stir over a coal bed until it becomes a thick paste. Try not to let it catch fire if possible, as this can make the pitch brittle. Number 3, once the paste hardens, it can be stored. To reuse, heat it to the melting point. Pine pitch works for making bandages, but remember that it will be hot, so be careful not to cause further injury with a burn. Once it is made, you can let it dry in the container and then reheat it when needed again. Or gather the pitch into pitch sticks for later use by turning a stick in the paste a bit at a time. like cotton candy and allowing the pitch to dry on the stick. Reheat the hardened pitch until it softens and apply it in a paste form. End of page.